Hey guys, so Adam Wade of YouTube channel Rare Classic Cars contacted me, and he's found an 86 Cadillac Cimarron about an hour away from me. He wanted to know if I could go get it because the guy would not accept any sort of bank wire or anything like that. Cash only. So he asked me if he wired me the money, if I would go get this car for him, get it back to my house, and then he would come get it. So I called Charlie. There's Charlie that's helped me out quite a bit, and he just got here. So we are on our way to go pick this car up for Adam, and when we get there, I'll show you guys what we find. Here we are in Lebanon, Illinois. We're meeting this guy here with Adam's new Cimarron at the Casey's fuel station here. Howdy. Shane?
How you doing? Nice to meet you.
You too?
Well, it's a hot rod. It got rained on. Now it's all speckly.
So here's the new 9,000 mile Cadillac Cimarron. I still say it's a Cavalier, but
That's what I thought it was.
the Cavalier probably didn't have a locking
No, it didn't.
gas cap or fuel door. Hey, you even got a shop manual.
Yeah. Oh, I need to take the plates off.
It is clean. I've probably never seen a power trunk release in a Cavalier either. So, yeah, we'll let you get the plates off and we'll do some business and we'll take it for a drive. Back in a bit. All right, so we made the deal. I've got the title. The car has a little bit of a rough idle, and Adam is aware of that. He said it runs smooth going down the road. We're just going to stay on 2-lane highways. Let's see if these windows will go up. Yeah, that's faster than most GM windows. So, let's get on the road and see what happens. Charlie's going to follow me. We will stay off the interstate. Cavalier tilt wheel. All right, I'll get out of this town and we'll come back and see how it's going down the road. Well, we're going down the highway. I got the cruise set on 55. It seems to be working just fine. We lose a little bit of speed going up and down these hills, but I don't think the car was advertised as a powerhouse. It does not ride like any Cadillac that I've ever driven. It definitely still rides like the Cavalier. Has road noise of a Cavalier, but definitely has a lot of Cadillac options. The radio works, sounds really good. Symphony sound, it says, and it does. It sounds really great. Sounds like all the speakers are working. Has the original gold keys. He said if he finds another set of keys, he will contact me or Adam and send them. And I said, well, you can just send them to Adam. It's his car. And we're slowing down. The power antenna is bent. I haven't tried it yet to see if it works. I'll wait and do that when we get home, but it's going down the highway pretty good, so we'll get home and walk around it and check out what Adam just purchased. Well, we've definitely got a bad tire in the front. You can really see the steering wheel shaking and pulling, so I'm glad we're staying on these 2-lane highways. It's not really smoothing out much better anyway, but Adam's aware of all that. And as we all know, he's an automotive genius, so I'm sure he'll have it up in tip-top shape in no time, but the steering wheel is really starting to shake, so I'm just going to keep it really slow and stay on these 2-lane highways all the way home. And like I said, we'll talk about it a little bit more when we get there. Well guys, this tire's getting way worse and I'm on my last stretch home here, but see, if I let off the steering wheel, it takes me straight to the ditch and it's shaking pretty bad. So I don't want to get on the interstate at all. So I'm going to go through this little town of Mulberry Grove here and I'm going to take you guys through the country on the way home and I'll show you some pretty country. There's no way I'm getting on the interstate with the tire this bad, so when I get into some pretty country, I'll come back and show it to you. All right, here we are out in the middle of the beautiful country. Got some cows grazing over there. This is the stomping grounds that I grew up in. I got a lot of late nights cruising out here through the country like this. I was always driving full-size Ford LTDs and Marquis Bromes and Grand Marquis though. I didn't feel all these bumps and hear all this road noise in what I was driving. Come on, climb the hill. I'll show you guys this giant hill up here. When we were little kids, used to sled ride here down off this hill, and my cousin broke his arm because he was going way too fast down that hill sled riding and ramped on the sled and come down and snapped his arm. A lot of beautiful country out here in southern Illinois, central southern Illinois I should say. I had a boss at an Amoco station one time that told me he planted all these trees down through here along the side of this road. A lot of good mushroom hunting down in here too, morels. It's a nice spot up through there. This floods a lot down here in the spring, but we haven't had near the rain that we normally do. This is a newer bridge than when I was a little kid. In fact, they've even put it in a different spot to try to help with the flooding. It was an old metal frame bridge when I was down here with a wood floor when I was a kid. This is a lot newer bridge than when I was a kid. And the old one was up here. They rerouted the creek, dug it out and made it go a different way. All the gauges have been fine in this car the whole trip. Temperature's been fine, oil's been fine, amps has been fine. Been in a little bit of rain. Looks like we could be in more. Yep, this is where I grew up, out in the country. This is where most of the miles were put on my mom and dad's 68 Ford XL convertible. These country roads. Nice place there. Alrighty. Well, we'll go around the car when we get home. We're just about there. Well, I'm rounding the last corner here to get to my house. The only thing so far I have found that's not right is the right turn signal indicator bulb is not working. Chances are that's just a loose connection. And this sun visor will not stay down out of my face. If you put it all the way up forward or up back, it keeps falling down. So anyway, we made it home just fine. I'll let Adam know. He's going to make a trip down to get it. So it's definitely trying to rain now, but I'm going to try to find a good spot to keep this. I'm going to park it right over here for now. And we'll walk around it if the weather straightens up here. I don't want to stand out in the rain, but we're home for now. And this stereo sounds amazing. Really amazing stereo for 1986. I've been listening to St. Louis, KC95, the rock of St. Louis, real rock radio. All the way home, it's done fine even with that power antenna not going down or going up all the way. It does not work and it's bent, but I'm sure Adam will get that taken care of as well. So I'll come back and we can walk around it and talk about it a little bit. I'll let Adam know that we are home just fine. All right, let's go over this car a little bit. The guy told me that this little chrome cap missing off of the headlight switch was in this compartment, but I don't know what that is, but that is definitely not it. I mean, looks like it's missing off of the ashtray too. That's definitely not it. So I don't know what he's talking about. And this is, wait, there it is. He's right. I don't know what that big cone is, but okay, that's the one for the ashtray. So that needs to be glued back on. I can glue that on before Adam gets here. Drop it again. Okay, well, actually, they were both stuck together. There's the one for the lights. And here's the one for the ashtray. So, yeah, they were both in there. They were underneath this ashtray cover that needs to be glued back on as well. So I could probably glue that stuff back on before Adam gets here to pick it up. The ashtray works good and is clean. You can tell it's never been smoked in. Looks brand new. But we got to glue that back on. I checked everything out. All the windows work good. I did realize these windows have those dreaded GM plastic clip guides that clip into the front and the back both. And when I was working on power windows in the 90s, these GM cars would come in and the windows would just fall forward because those clips would break. At that time, they were still available at the dealer, but now they're not. I think you can only get them aftermarket if you can find them. That one works. And I think these windows, as fast as they are, especially in the front, I don't think they're those GM tape window regulators. I think they about have to be the old original scissor type. That back one's a little slow, but I doubt if it's been used. I mean, it's got 9,000 miles on it. And that was a little faster. Door locks work on all four. So that's cool. You could tell that, you know, I mean, I've always called these Cavaliers. I remember I was working at Amico and a lady came in, you know, I was full service back then. And I mean, I started pumping gas and here she pulls up. I'm thinking it's just a gussied up Cavalier. And I seen it said Cadillac on it. I was like, this thing's a Cadillac? She's like, yep, it's a Cadillac. That was my first experience with a Cimarron. I was like, what is happening? And then, of course, I started noticing them. But this car does have road noise in it, like you would expect a Cavalier to have. But if you look, I mean, they did actually take a lot of care in doing this stitching. I'm sure this is vinyl, but it looks really nice, like leather. And it's got like felt over the A-pillar moldings. And these used to just always be plain old plastic in GM cars, and they've got a felt covering over them. So they definitely guzzied them up. Let's see. I'm surprised. Well, no, these are power mirrors. It looks like a cable one, but nope, it's got left and right switch for power mirrors on each side. Rear window defrost. I'm sure the Cavalier didn't have this electronic HVAC control. I'm sure it was knobs and slides. So, oh, I want to show you guys this. I want you to look at this lighted sun visor. And I grabbed this. It's in my pocket. It's out of this Lincoln here next door. This is a used one that I had that was broke. Whoever was making these had to make them for both vehicles, because look at that. This is just a little bit bigger. But other than that, it's the exact same thing. It even has the little dots in each corner. It's the same pattern. It's just a little bit smaller. This one wouldn't fit in here, but it's got the high-low. You know, just like that. I'm going to take a good look at that, and then we'll step over here. And look at these. It's the exact identical thing, only in smaller scale in the Cadillac. Same high-low, same lens, same cloth in the center. Honestly, it looks exactly like the same color of blue in this Collector Series Continental as it looks like in the Cimarron. So I got a feeling that whoever was making these was making them for definitely GM and Ford both. This is just a little shrunk down version. And I noticed driving over here too, this is the shortest, like narrowest mirror I've ever seen in a car. I've never seen a mirror like that. I mean, it doesn't take up near all the back window. You can't see much out of it. I did look in here. So there's some pretty neat stuff. It's got the original owner's manual. And it looks like the card of the guy that they were dealing with at the time. I'm going to have to put my glasses on. I can't see. Bob Bymer or something like that, business manager, more Cadillac, Jaguar, Pontiac. So all that stuff's neat to see in one of these cars. And then in this envelope, I think it was this one. I was looking at this earlier and I thought that the weather was going to get better, but it's just not. That's not the one that I want. We'll set that over here, not to get it mixed up. Well, maybe it is. Let's see. I saw the original invoice for this car. Where did it go? It's yellow. Oh, dang it. I didn't take it out of here. Just a minute. Let me find this thing. There we go. It stayed in the envelope and I pulled the rest of that out. See here, here's the original invoice. The buyer, George and Mary, St. Louis, Missouri. 86, Cadillac, Cimarron. New or used, says new. It's got the VIN. and $14,588. That sounds a little more right for a Cavalier Cadillac, I guess. I mean, it's about half the price of a town car. I don't know what a full-size Cadillac costs, but you know, in today's money, that's probably like 40 grand or something. In today's dollars, it's probably that much money. That's weird. No title fee. Miscellaneous, $290 is the only extra fee on there. The car, it looks like it's stickered for 14, or well, they bought it for $14,298. A total of $14,588. A brand new car back then with all these options. Let's see if the trunk works. Oh, it does, because it really jumped up. Look at that. Still got the original mat in it. All the spotless carpet in the trunk. Really nice clean trunk lid. Sure isn't very big compared to what Adam's used to driving. Original 86 shop manual. That's cool. But yeah, it's got a new exhaust on it. Adam's got a guy he thinks that can recreate these bumper fillers that it needs. I like this little French antenna being factory like that. This can be straightened up, but I think I'll let Adam handle it. He's probably going to want to look into why it doesn't work. I'd say it just needs new mass. You probably have a better chance getting one for a Cadillac than you would a Lincoln. Fog lights. Adam wants to know exactly what size of tires these are. P205 60R 14. And I asked him, I didn't realize that these cars originally came out with white letter tires. He said, yeah, it's the original tires on it. So that explains why this one was bouncing so bad on the way home. I'm looking for a knot. This could be it right here. It's really starting to split. But he's going to trailer it home. Let's see if we can take a gander under the hood. It's funny, they just use these standard GM switches that they used for years that had a chrome bezel, and they painted them blue to match the car. Pretty neat touch, actually. You could take those out about any GM car of the era and they would work. It's got a prop rod. It's quiet, extremely clean. Just got that little miss. We believe it is the injector on number 2. That's what the guy thinks. And he does have a mechanic shop, so I believe him. Power steering reservoir all the way up there on the firewall. There's the cruise control. The cruise worked fine. All functions on the cruise worked fine all the way home. The windshield washer worked because I had to use it. It started spitting rain. It left a weird white film all over it. I don't know what's in there, but it's not salt. We haven't had any salt on the roads for quite some time. These willow trees here, I just broke some twigs off of a tree that was uprooted up at the Edsel Ford Estate in Grosse Pointe, Michigan. and planted them in my yard here, and they're growing. I've got willow trees from the Edsel estate growing in my yard. This one doesn't look great, but that one I think is going to do fine, but it's going to need moved, or the crabapple tree is going to have to be cut down. Anyway, I think Adam did all right on this car. Clearly, I mean, like I say, look at the seats and all this. There's no doubt in my mind. It needs vacuumed out. I don't know why the guy didn't vacuum it out, but it's going to clean up really well. You guys know what Adam will do to it. He won't leave any stone left unturned, I'm sure. Rear defrost works. It even bogged the engine down. Turn it off, see what it does to that volt gauge. Yeah, it works. Everything worked. I may look into this right turn indicator before he gets here, if I have time. See, the left one works, but the right one, it's clicking. It's not working. It don't look like it take too much to get that cluster off there, the faceplate. I don't know. I may just leave it alone too. I'd hate to break something. Anyway, you guys will see Adam down here sometime soon. I've been up there to visit him a lot, but this will be his first time coming here to get a car. It was a pleasure to go get it for him. So stay tuned, and please hit that thumbs up down there and subscribe to my channel and hit that little notification bell so you can see when Adam shows up. Thank you very much. I appreciate you watching. Stay tuned.